Welcome back to another episode of the Payday 3 map making guide. In this episode, we're going to be going over interactions. So, unlike Payday 2, where it was an element, or occasionally if you were able to... So, unlike Payday 2, where it was primarily an element, now, if you were to type it in, there is nothing here that we can use because it's now a component. So, how to make a component is we got to make a blueprint. So, we're going to right-click Blueprint. I'm going to do actor, I'm going to type in blueprint, and I'm going to make a parking meter, so I'm going to name it that. Right, then we open up, we're going to add a couple components here. First of all, we need the static mesh for the parking meter itself. I'm just going to add the parking meter. I'm going to name this parking meter, and then we're going to add a cube. So the reason we're adding a cube is because this is what we're going to interact with. So we can actually tell the game, hey, I want to interact with this component. So what that means is that we can then fit this right where the screen would be. So this is going to be this whole section. Because obviously you wouldn't want to interact with the side of it or down here. You want to interact with this section. I'm going to place it generally in the same area. Perfect. And then we're just going to type in invisible. And you want to just use the one that's named invisible, not invisible. You'll notice right when it goes black. Now we're going to add our interactable components right here. So the interactable component actually has two main areas that we're going to be looking at. This top area is information about how you're able to interact with it. For example, this gameplay interaction query just asks like, hey, does the player have a blue keycard? So it will require you to have a blue keycard to interact with it if you have it here, or if it's a shared item like a QR code, it would be in this section. Down here is all the information about how you're interacting with it. So is it currently enabled? Can you do it multiple times? Is it allowed in casing mode? Or is it illegal? There's a couple of examples. For this instance, we're going to set it to it's not illegal, and you can do it in casing mode just because you're getting a parking ticket. That's a normal thing to do. And then down here is all of the information about when you're interacting with it. For example, we have what's the distance of how you can interact with it. We have the text. So I'm going to set this to pick up parking ticket. We have the duration, which I'm going to set to 2. Down here, we have all the sound effects. So if you were to go in and dummy an AK audio event, you can now put them in here and play the sound effect in game. I don't have that, so I won't add any. We have the comments that the heisters will make for start, complete, and cancel. And at the very bottom right here, we have the animation. So if you know the animation name, you can type it in here, and it will do the little animations, like, for example, typing on the computer or something like that. I don't have any, so I'm going to keep that blank. And there's also at the bottom here is scrambler affected, so just if you can interact with it when the techie is nearby. For the start, I'm going to have first fright, and I'm going to do found it or completed. And up here we're also just going to set shape. So this is where the interaction is going to be. So it is a static mesh component. We're going to type in cube. That's where we want the interaction to be, is right here. And then that is good on that front. And while we're at it, we're also going to add an outline. So unfortunately, outlines don't work on invisible meshes. It actually removes the outline. So that's why I had to add a parking meter. Because we're going to do the same thing on this one, add parking meter. And we're going to set the interaction distance to 3. I don't exactly remember, but I believe you need both of these for the interaction. And then we need to select the interactable component. So that is an interactable component with the name SBZ. Interactable. Right, now we can save. And let's see how it looks. All right, we're in the heist. As you see, as we get close, the outline appears. And if we only look at the panel here, you can interact with it. And when you interact with it, the outline goes away. Easy as that.